Boy, I'm going to take my glasses off because it's really bright. But thank you so much. And I just want to say that I really honor what everyone here is doing. It's grown tremendously since our first year, and it's going to burgeon even more and more and more. So when Nicole asked me to talk about Heartmath and what we're doing next, because we've always been sort of ahead of our time, and we still think perhaps we are, I'm going to talk about group flow and the Global Coherence project, invite you to participate in it. So a little background on Heartmath. First of all, to the world, we're a technology and training company to transform health, wellness, optimize performance, and we've provided award-winning technologies. We have been doing this for over 20 years. We actually brought the term heart rate variability into the marketplace. It was just fetal monitoring. We have over 300 independent peer-reviewed studies, 8,000 certified trainers and coaches, 25,000 health professionals, 400,000 M-Wave and inner balance devices. We are the U.S. Department of Defense Resilience Program. They adopted our definition. And we've been invited to the CES Consumer Technology Association to set standards for the new stress apps and HRV apps, because there's a lot of non-effective things on the market. So just a little background, and I'm going to tell you where we're going, because our system is being used by all these aspects of society. And it's really about, and these organizations, and we have term sheets right now with 4 Fortune 100 companies that everybody knows that we have to move into the space, all of us. We are a gold standard in this industry, but our goal and our desire now is to how do we facilitate you? How do we co-create? How do we collaborate? How do we help people empower? The burgeoning technology, we're still about the heart. Heartmath has always been about the heart, and I'm going to explain why in a few minutes. Failures of self-regulation, our ability to manage our emotions, ourself, to be able to shift emotional state on demand. We're seeing that as really the problem behind personal social well-being and our political issues we have today. And so building the capacity to effectively self-regulate our emotions, attitudes, and behaviors is the key. And that's a little different than what you've been hearing about technology is going to do all this stuff to us. Yes, it's going to develop, but until we learn how to self-regulate, self-empower, and if technology helps us do that, we aren't really advancing in consciousness, is our understanding. So there's a growing number of research studies showing that we can take charge of how we respond moment to moment. We can learn to better self-regulate, which actually prevents many stress-producing episodes, but it also raises our consciousness into another level of perception where the stressor isn't creating the stress response. And we do this by learning how to intentionally shift the rhythm of the heart. This has been our research breakthrough all along, right in the moment, to a rhythm of coherence. And I'll show you why this is so important. And we do it all the time when we love, when we forgive, when we feel empathetic, when we care, when we have compassion. All the qualities of heart are qualities of spirit. Move the heart rhythm into this coherent state. So it's not something Heartmath owns. It's inside of each of you. We all have the math of the heart. But the heart has its own complex nervous system, a heart brain. And that sends more signals to the cranial brain than the cranial brain sends back to the heart. And the heart is actually an intelligence system, much more than a blood pump. And as our research and others just shows, it is a portal. Not just on the chakra level, but actually in how it responds physiologically and through its rhythmic pattern to help us access higher states of consciousness, higher dimensional states. So we look at these HRV patterns, and we got into Heartmath with our founder, Doc Childry, because we were aware on a consciousness level of this how it works. So we wanted to research it. And the HRV patterns and short-term changes in the amount of HRV really are reflecting our emotional state, our energy expenditures, and there is an optimal state that enables us and empowers us to self-regulate, to perceive differently. And this is iconic. You've probably a lot have seen this graph. This is the heart rhythm pattern on the left when we are stressed, frustrated, anxious. It's an incoherent waveform. We can learn to shift, and as this person did, right in the moment, to that harmonic waveform, which is a sine wave, a coherence waveform. And so as we do that, we activate an appreciation, love, care, compassion. As we move the heart rhythm in that state, it's easier to feel those qualities. As we feel those qualities, the heart rhythm moves into that state. And then it sends a signal like a Morse code to the brain when we're in heart coherence and synchronizes cortical function. The core cells of the amygdala synchronize to the pattern and the heartbeat, and it enhances our ability in our frontal lobes to be innovative, creative, self-regulate, and put the ego to the side so that we can actually function better. So Doc Childrey, our founder, who's not a public figure, and I told him I was going to talk about group flow, he gave me some words that he would say, and so that's why I wanted to read this to you. He said, one of the things we're seeing as we practice coherence is that we're increasing personal flow in real time. And that translates into, I didn't react as quickly. Once the heart energy moves through people and creates flow, even if your technology crashes or other challenges where you would be frustrated, the flow of heart energy lets people handle with more dignity, poise, challenges, and create flow where there is no flow. People are always trying to find the flow, but if that energy is put into getting coherence so they can access that instant resilience, then they become their own flow generators. And one of the biggest sighs of relief is, gosh, everything today just went in flow. There was synchronicity. We're feeling a lot of that here. How many of you are finding more synchronicities between people here than in other events? A lot of it. And our suggestion is because of heart energy flowing through this space, not just because you're all in this common field. When we get the vibration of the minds and emotions aligned with the heart, that gives the resilience to snap back quickly. And that's one reason why heart rhythm coherence practice is important. It tags people into a continuous stream of resilience, which like an adjuster frequency. So when we react or we spin out, we don't spin that far, we can get back in quicker. And that builds energy, builds consciousness, builds renewal and resilience. Otherwise, the depletion from the constant stress response that drains our energy blocks our ability to see new solutions, personally and globally. And that's what the inner balance and the M-Wave technology is really designed for, why it was designed to help people connect more with that heart rhythm coherence and access their higher potential. And that's what we're using in these companies, but we go in there through the doorway of stress management, improving health, wellness, improving creativity, innovation, and resilience. But that's a Trojan horse because it opens them up to the heart energy and heart consciousness, which is our mission. So the mission of Heartmath is to facilitate this personal heart coherence, social coherence, and global coherence. And we've focused a lot on personal coherence for the last 20 years, proving it out, publishing it, facilitating, hopefully, facilitating the whole trans-tech movement with that. What the world needs now is social coherence. There's not going to be any real global shift in consciousness so people can get along with each other better. Would you agree? The polarization is so extreme. So let's look at relational energetics and how heart coherence impacts that. Each heartbeat produces electricity that can be measured and radiates a magnetic field that can be measured 5-10 feet away by a magnetometer, but we know this toroidal shape extends farther. And you can think of your heart's energetic field as your personal field environment, where it's broadcasting your coherence or incoherence, your stress, your thoughts, your emotions. It's all being radiated like a radio wave through that field. And we're influencing each other by this energetic connectivity, whether it's online in these social media groups where hate is being built and amplified, or whether it's groups like this where the heart energy is being built and amplified. So what we are researching now is how, when people are in heart rhythm coherence, and some of you saw this last year, can actually lift the field environment and help lift other people's into coherence so they have a chance to see from a new perspective. and a chance then to choose care and harmony and love. It's still a choice. You're not going to just have empathy and care and harmony done to you. We're on a planet of free will. At some point, we have to choose, but try to make the environmental conditions through all the sensors and technology and understanding of how it works an environmental readiness so people know they can choose love and care and it's in their best interest. So how many of you perhaps have read Stealing Fire, Stephen Kotler and Jamie Will's book? So in that book, a former Navy SEAL trainer who used a different name, who's a Heartmath certified trainer, talks about how he's building social coherence in the Navy, in Navy SEALs. And these leaders look for group flow. When you're a SEAL and you're out there, group flow is what saves your life. When you're in a corporate boardroom for innovation or any kind of think tank, that group flow is what accesses higher downloads. The collective can actually co-create new together. And it starts with self-regulation of the emotions and a coherent heart rhythm. And in the same way that multiple clocks on a wall end up synchronizing to the one with the biggest pendulum or the strongest heart field, that's what we see here. People entrained to each other's rhythmic pattern. Now, how do we build on that? How do we work with that so that the group flow can be more effective, more dynamic? This is where we're getting into our research on social coherence. And you can see this as a shift and lift technique of the heart rhythm pattern. You see the heart rhythm coherence, and then these people were continued to be hooked up, so to speak, in the meeting. And I don't have time to go into what all these patterns mean. But this is the pattern you want for group collective heart and innovation and heart energy that's going to open up the higher brain functions and allow for the optimal performance in a group setting, whether it's an athletic team, a work team, a family team. So we've been measuring group flow and HRV synchronization between group members, and you can see that peak on the right side of the power spectrum, which is 0.1 hertz, which is the same peak at the heart-brain baroreflector system where the heart and brain are entrained, and that's where we're opening to newer perspectives. And what we want to do is get group members entrained in that place. So we're developing social coherence algorithms, training programs that we can put into our technology or yours, because we really think that there has to be social coherence, group flow, group coherence, in order to lift consciousness and lift humanity and accelerate the heart energy on the planet. Some of you saw this last year. I don't have time to play the video of Burning Man where we had 8 people hooked up on the M waves, and the average group coherence lit up this incredible structure and with music that was inspiring. There's so much we can do with virtual reality and group flow with as long as we are getting people into heart rhythm coherence. And social coherence, it's really, this is a scientific definition, the harmonious alignment of relationships which allows for the efficient flow and utilization of energy and non-local communication. That's a whole other area of research that we've been involved in. But it requires that group members be attuned and emotionally connected to each other, and that the group energies globally organized and regulated by the group as a whole. So we're developing research-based training programs, and like I said, HRV synchronization algorithms. We'll have a new app out next year on that. But we have a new app coming out right now that I want to invite you to participate in. And it's part of the Global Coherence Initiative, which you can learn about on our website, a science-based co-creative project. And this is based on the idea and the research that the Earth's magnetic field that's emanating from the core of the Earth has different frequency resonances, and they all overlap the cardiovascular frequencies. So the heart of the Earth beat is overlapping our heart rhythm and our heart frequencies. So if we get in coherence, 0.1 hertz, which is where the first peak is, we are now harmonizing with the Earth's field. What does this mean? We look at the group HRV of people harmonizing together in the heart, in coherence, and we can see that it is overlapping with the Earth's magnetic field. What are the implications of this? This is amazing. Harnessing the power of nature. The 0.1 hertz resonant frequency, you can breathe at that frequency, but when you activate love, care, compassion, forgiveness, the qualities of spirit, you sustain that frequency, you couple with each other's hearts and the planet's fields. And I get chills talking about it because that is the design of nature, of oneness, but we have to activate it ourselves. This is a very, very hopeful graph. What this is saying is that the increased correlation between group HRV, the Earth's field, after practicing what we call heart coherence lock-in, where you are locked into the heart coherent rhythm. And you can see right here the correlations. There weren't many before people were in the lock-in and after. And that actually sustained. That group field, and adding that added more amplitude, I'm reading now to the collective heart, that caused more of an energetic imprint to maintain flow for the individual and the group and get back in flow. And as Doc Childress is saying here, the individual gets added to, then the power of the collective way multiplies the effectiveness of the outgoing energy, whether to the planetary field environment or collective energy aimed at something going a certain way, like intention for the best for the whole, to improve weather or the politics. It just powers up collective intention coupled with the energetics of the earth and higher dimensions is what we would suggest. That enables neural habit change. That enables an acceleration of what we're all talking about here. And as we get into these higher dimensional states, they're going to inform the new technologies you're all going to create. They're going to inform the next level of personal, social, and global coherence. So we're developing a Global Coherence app. It's in alpha right now. And you will be able to create a social group, a group of your family, your workplace, your church group, and your coherence scores as you practice as a group will be averaged, and you'll be encouraged to increase them. And then they will all be fed into the app as coherence points for the globe. We already have 50,000 members in the Global Coherence Initiative, so we're really excited about the amplification and capacity of this. It has huge implications that we think for the planet. You will need a sensor. We'll start with our sensors right now in this app, and there's feedback that you get and coherence points and gamification, and your social group will be able to contribute again to the global group field, and we'll be able to do research with this. We'll be able to say, here's a care alert. Let's all get in our hearts and send heart energy like to the fires going on right now in Butte County, and be able to see if we can measure both population health and other things. So I want to invite you all to participate and help create a new heart-generated baseline for energetic amplification of heart coherence throughout the world, meaning deeper care, kindness, heart connection, cooperation, to create a world we want to live in. I have a fish bowl out in the hallway. You can put your business card in there if you want to participate, or you can email me. I'll show you my email address. We also are interviewing, we're hiring. We're profitable, we're growing, we're investing in this. In the future, we may also do some crowdfunding to include more people, but right now we're interviewing to take that app and the new HRV synchronization app into a really cool user interface and platform development. So it's sticky, so it's exciting. So it uses best practices to bring in the millennials. We're hiring and interviewing for UX platform development, software engineers experienced in these codes, especially Qt right now, C++ developer. And so you can email me at this address, or you can put your business card in the bowl. And I would like to take 1 minute where we all shift our heart and send some heart energy to the people who aren't far from us, who are losing their homes right now in the fire. One of my employees, their whole family lost their home. Another one of my employees just texted me her father-in-law lost their home, which she owns. So a lot of compassion and care while we're doing all this together. So I just invite you to shift to your heart. Pretend your breath is flowing in through your heart and out through your heart area. And it's hard to keep the energy really in the heart, which is how heart coherence is generated, and not have it flow back to the head. And now let's just radiate the collective heart of this room. That love, add love to your heart rhythm. And let's just embrace and radiate that love to all the people in Paradise, California, Chico, down south, and the fires down there as well. And radiate that love to help give them a little lift through what they're going through. Thank you so much. And I'll be here. And if you want to talk with me, I wore a bright green blouse so you can find me. Thank you.